To say your name and what you're running for and why you're running.
Well, I'm Lateefah Williams. I'm running for Attorney General, and I'm running for Attorney General because I really want to serve the public, particularly some of our most vulnerable residents. So I feel that, in the past, a lot of our Attorney Generals have been looking out for, say, the mayor's interest, but they haven't been looking out for the interests of the average, ordinary Washingtonian, and particularly our most vulnerable residents who generally have a voice. So that's why I'm running, so that I can be a voice for all people.
Nice.
Yes, well, it's a double-edged sword. On one hand, we're seeing all the development, and it's always great, the new energy that's being brought into the city and things of that nature. But at the same time, I'm also noticing that a lot of residents, a lot of long-term residents, have either been pushed out or they're fearful of being pushed out. So I think it's important that we take a balanced approach to development. We definitely don't want to stop development or anything like that. We definitely want to move forward and progress as a city. We just want to make sure we do it in a way that ensures that all Washingtonians are protected.
I believe DC can develop without this massive displacement.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it's going to be difficult. It's going to be difficult because clearly private developers, they're in it for a profit and they're not in it, they don't really, they're not really concerned about affordable housing and things of that nature. But that's why it's our job as both district residents and as government and potentially as government official, to push the developers on these issues and to ensure that the affordable housing plans are adhered to and that the laws are strictly enforced without giving people unnecessary waivers. Well, I have heard about that process. I know that some residents are concerned about the process. I know one thing that is concerning about expanding the downtown area is that within that area, many of the developers they have waivers, affordable housing waivers. So I am concerned about expanding the area where those waivers occur because as we know, there's an affordable housing crisis in the city. So
Right.
I think it's important to look at it. But as far as if it actually gives rise to being arbitrary and capricious, I think that's the type of thing that as Attorney General I would have to investigate or my office would have to investigate.
Right. Um, 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 and this goes for any rulemaking.
Right.
Assuming it is arbitrary or capricious in terms of not based on any substance and science, and it's just an idea.
Right.
What role do you see the AG playing? So you've investigated it as the AG.
Right.
What role at that point do you see the AG playing to challenge it or whatever you think?
Right. Well, if it's determined to be arbitrary and capricious, and it was, and under this scenario, I'm also assuming that it was brought to me by concerned district residents, with as an AG who's going to be accountable to the people. That's my primary concern, responding to district residents. One of the things that we can do is we can file a suit on behalf of district residents against the agency. Now that the difficulty there, because that's generally what you can do to enforce it. The difficulty there with it arising in the Attorney General's office is because we also have a responsibility to defend the agencies. So I mean, what my first step, what I would ultimately want to do, is to go to the agency to submit a legal opinion to the agency and ask them, ask them to basically redo the process. It didn't comply with the law. You need to redo the process. And so hopefully it would stop there. Like I said, there are other mechanisms to go forth, including a lawsuit. And if there has been a lawsuit, then there's a chance that, it would have to involve at some level appointing a special counsel, whether that was to represent the agency or, well, there would have to be a special counsel to represent the agency. If I decided to move forward and represent the people, then I would have to appoint a special counsel to represent the agency to make sure the agency's needs are protected. But more than anything, I would hope it wouldn't come to that because, I mean, litigation is expensive and,
Right.
and time consuming, and it's a last resort. So
Right.
if I did do the investigation and determine that, then what I would hope would be that a legal opinion from the Office of Attorney General would push the Office of Planning to reopen the process.